Hey, I'm hellorodney. Thanks for clicking on my video. You know, it's really. Oh, there's that. Now that the light is, there's some light, some less light. It sparkles red. But I was watching this video. Slack TV in action. I couldn't watch the whole thing in one sitting. I don't know if I'll be able to watch it. I'll try to, but I don't know. It's Slack TV walking around his house. And he's talking to himself. Actually, he's talking to the camera. And he's walking around his house, and I look at that video and I say, and I'm thinking, you know, the wonderful thing about that video is that it makes me understand that I'm not the only guy in the whole world who's got whatever this guy has. Or, you know, and he's beating himself up in the video. And it's easy to beat yourself up, buddy. You know, I mean, it's easy to beat yourself up. And I beat myself up too. Because I think there's part of us, and I shouldn't say us because I can't talk about you, you know. But there's a part of me that understands what you're going through, because I go through the same thing. And you're trying to get to a point where you can break this cycle. And, you know, I broke the cycle once. And what I did, in order for me to break the cycle, I had to practically be flat broke. Now, I've been flat broke before. I remember one time, this is probably around maybe 1986. I was sitting in a place I go to still today. I was sitting there, I think I had 3 cents. 3 cents. Oh, I can't remember. I think it was something like that. It was all the money I had. You know, it was after I split up with my ex-wife, and I was living in this house. But you know, I was young, and I couldn't freaking live here because it was just so far out. You know, I mean, it was just too far out. You know. The house looked a lot different than it does now. This room that I'm in now, you know, was actually, there's a floor underneath this. You know, this right here is, we put both levels here. And, you know, extended it out like this. So it's not really a floor underneath it. We just extended it out. Why am I talking about that? See, that's the way I am. I start talking about something, and then my mind just continues to just do these things, and I can't, my mind never shuts off. And I think they're probably Slack TV, and I'm not talking about Slack TV, okay? I don't know the guy. I watch his videos. I think he's a really, the guy's really the interesting thing about a guy like Slack TV is he has way more than average intelligence. But and that makes him, that might be one of the reasons that he can beat himself up so much. Because he knows that he can do better. But I'm making an assumption. I don't know if that's true. But what he was talking about in the first half of the video, I couldn't watch the whole thing. Are things that I'm very familiar with. But I did break that cycle once when I came back from LA. And I was 50 years old. I think I was 50. Fuck, I've been back a long time. I went to LA when I was 39 and came back when I was 50. So I was 50 when I came back. I went to California with $700. That's all the money I had. I stayed in California for 11 years and came back with $3,000. So I saved like what is that, like $2,300 in about 11 years. So it's about $200 a year. Is that right? Fuck, I don't know. Can't even think. Can't even think straight right now. Because the way my mind works is that I've got all of this Slack TV and action stuff going on over here that I'm trying to bring all this other stuff into to kind of relate, and then I start talking about how much money I left with and how much money I came back with, and then that all gets jammed together into this big freaking, tossed salad, and then I can't grab all of these things and put them together and make a lot of common sense. Now, sometimes I can. Sometimes I can juggle all kinds of things in my brain. But that's not really necessarily a very good thing to do, because it means that you're not focusing. But when I got back from LA, and I was living in Albuquerque, and I was paying a lot more rent in Albuquerque, and I had no job, and had like $3,000. And so I said, man, I got to figure out a way to make a living. So I started slowly with the jewelry business. And I thought, if I can make $35 a day, I can make a freaking living, $35 a day. So I had to figure out how to make some money in that business. And I worked at it, and I struggled, but I was focused. And I'm not like I am now. This fucking website, it's been going on for trying to get a website for 5 fucking years. I mean, what an idiot. I mean, if you can't get a fucking website together in 30 days, now you're a dumbass, It's taking me all this time because I just, I get mixed up in these things that don't work out, because I don't know anything. I don't know how to make a website. I don't know how to change oil either. You can't know everything. But the thing about a guy like me is that I don't know hardly anything except the things that I know about, which are pretty freaking useless. Unless you can figure out a way to do them. So if you can figure out a way to do something, and then you can put one success on top of another, and then you can, it's really, for me, it's about building something that'll actually work. It's about going from A, B, C, D, and then just continue that process. But you have to stay focused. When I came back from LA, I knew that I was going to be fucking broke if I didn't do something. So I just had to focus and say, I have got to do this, because I knew that the jewelry business is something that will work, because every woman on the planet, every woman on the face of the earth has got some sort of adornment. It's just the way it is. Every woman, most women have got piles of stuff that they thought at the time that they bought it was really great, and then after they wear it a few times, they don't wear it anymore. Lots of that stuff. So I thought, okay, I can do that. I can make something that would be beautiful enough for a woman to wear. That I can do. So I started making jewelry items. I started making things that women would buy. And I started making them, a lot of these are old pieces. I started making things that women would buy. And lo and behold, I became very successful at doing that. These are all earrings. Women buy earrings. Say that to yourself 40,000 times and underline it 60 million times. Women buy earrings. And these earrings are small. Earrings are an impulse item. If you can make something that's a little flashy, that's a little grabs someone's attention, and you can make it in a jewelry form, you can make a living doing that. But the way that I work, and I didn't start off working like this. I started off making each piece individual. I made each piece individually, and then I started to create ways of increasing my production. And once I started to increase my production, I realized that the pieces that I was doing for production were actually more what women wanted than the individual pieces I was making. And then after a while, I started to realize that it's not really so much what I make as the perception of the buyer. Because I can have two things, two pendants, this one and this one. And I can say this one is the best pendant ever, and this is the one that's going to sell first. I can say that this pendant is not nearly as good as this pendant, and this one's going to sell first. Because when people start like me, I'm not talking about you, I don't care about what you people do. I only care about what I do, because I know what I'm trying to do is to talk about the things that I've learned about this. Is that for a person that's a producer like myself, I cannot. Now, if I'm going to be a designer, that's different. But being a designer and being a producer of jewelry is different. Because a designer it's just different. Because a designer is a person that is coming out with like a line of stuff that is exclusive, that's made by this person for people that are following the work of that person. And that's not what I'm doing. What I'm doing are basically craft pieces that can be used. I just picked these two out. I didn't have no idea what they are. Like you take these two pieces here. Okay. The reason that I like these kind of things is because they appeal to a wide range of people. Now, if I'm a designer, then maybe I'll just make this one right here. But I'll just use all of these same colors and I'll jazz them up and do all kinds of stuff. But they'll all basically look like this. This one will be like that. The one next to it will look like the brother or sister. And then the farthest they're going to get away is cousins or second cousins. Whereas this one and this one, this one is from Albania and this one is from Tasmania. I mean, they're just totally different. They're just totally different. So I don't even care a lot of the times what they look like. Because what I care about is whether or not the quality of the glass is excellent. Because I'm not going to be able to tell you that Tasmanian designs are better than these other designs. It's none of my business. It's your business as the buyer to decide what you like. So I don't get real crazy about trying to make something that's just the greatest thing that I've ever seen. Now, that's not the case with my paintings or my drawings. Because when people look at that, then they're looking at me. But when people look at that jewelry, they're looking at the jewelry. They're not looking at me. Now, this is kind of getting off a little bit, but I'm trying to do a video for Selective in Action. Because he and I have some of the same fucking issues. Unfortunately. Poor guy. Except he's about 30 fucking years younger than I am. Selective is a really smart fucking guy. There's no doubt about it. He is one intelligent son of a gun. Sharp. Sharp guy. And I don't like to see him. I don't like to see him in this condition. It's an interesting thing, YouTube, because on YouTube, you can be yourself because people can identify with you. I identify with him more on this video than all the other videos. Although I did identify with him on the riding the bicycle videos because that's kind of the way I ride my bike. Kind of a little bit crazy. A little bit, maybe almost going to get hit by a car. But it's none of my business what he does with his trip. But I'm just trying to do this video to give people who are doing this kind of thing a little bit of my experience. If you're a designer, you're a designer. If you're a jewelry maker, you're a jewelry maker. It was this guy. I was 20. How old was I? I think I was about 24 years old. I just gotten into the jewelry business way back then. I was in the carpentry business. Not carpentry. I was in the carpenters union. And I said, forget it, man. This fucking sucks big time. I took all the money that the family had. My daughter was 2 weeks old. I took the family fortune, $200. I went down and bought. Went to this place. It was $200 minimum. I told them this is what I got. It was $190 something I bought. And I spent all day Saturday and Sunday trying to sell this stuff. Monday I took off of work. Tuesday I took off of work, and Wednesday I quit. I was in the jewelry business, and I went through all of the stuff that I went through with that. And I was down in Florida. I took some stuff because this was the Indian jewelry days. And I took a bunch of stuff down to Florida, Miami, and Fort Lauderdale. And I met a guy there who was an older gentleman. He's probably older than I am, or probably, I don't know how old he was. I was 24, so he could have been 40 or something like that. And I would have thought he was old. But he was probably about 50 maybe. And he had a big place, and I said, so how come, you're really successful. How come you don't have like a really nice jewelry store? Because it was kind of like a Army-Navy store kind of thing. He had everything from freaking Indian jewelry to freaking pots and pans kind of a thing, And he says, if you set the trends, you can get rich or go broke. If you follow the trends, you can make a good living. And basically what I'm doing is following a trend. Dichroic glass is a trend. And I have a place in that trend. I'm one of the largest producers of this product in the United States. I can crank it out. But I got tired. I got really, really tired. And I just sat down. I said, fuck it, that's it. I quit. I'm done. I got exhausted because I turned into a workaholic. I didn't do anything except work. And I started to slow down when I started getting on YouTube. Matter of fact, my friend says, the reason your business is in the fucking tank, buddy, is because you've been doing too many videos. But I didn't care because I was exhausted. I was burning the candle at both ends and I burned myself out. And now I have to start back and start doing it over again. So that's why I can relate to what Slactive's going through. I can relate. I can relate to him, and that's the thing that makes me feel for him. It's not an easy thing to be doing what he's doing, to be going through what he's going through. And like I say, I only watched half the video, and I couldn't watch the rest of it. But the thing that made it for me was that I got a few successes. And I kept building on those. I didn't rest on my laurels. I stuck with it. And I was focused. I wasn't drawing. I wasn't painting. I wasn't doing anything except making jewelry, riding my bike to the coffee shop. This is what I would do. I would get out of bed, ride to the coffee shop, visit my buddies, come home and work until freaking midnight. every day. Go to bed, get up, ride my bike to the coffee shop, and sometimes I would wake up in the middle of the night, like at 3:30 in the morning, literally, get on my bike and go for a ride. 3:30 in the morning, I would go for a ride. And I would ride for maybe, I don't know how many miles, maybe, probably less than 10. But I would go for a ride and then I would come home and go to sleep, get up, go back to the coffee shop, and start working again. And I had to do that because I knew that I was going down. I knew that I had nothing, and that without help from God and without help from some friends, without something, I was going to go down the fucking tubes, buddy. It wasn't going to be pretty because I'm not the kind of guy that, I just can't let myself get to that fucking point. One time I had 3 cents. I mean, that's not a good place to be. I got a friend of mine now. I met him about the time I had 3 cents. He was, I think, in college at that time, getting a degree in writing. Yeah, that's something you want to really think about that one. Now he's living at the fucking homeless shelter. A degree in writing, he lives at the homeless shelter. So, I can't let myself get back to that point. And I've got no support. I've got no support. I have no food stamps, no welfare checks, no fucking, grandma sending me fucking money. I got nothing. If I don't fucking do it, it don't get done. So it's just a matter of focusing and trying to find something that you like to do, that you can do, and sticking with it. But then, it's all about timing. It's about timing. There was a guy I knew. I've shown you those buckets outside my house. I bought, it was about a half a ton, about 1,000 pounds of glass I bought from this guy from New York. I met him through a forum. And he had a big freaking operation going, manufacturing glass dishes. And he made nice freaking dishes out of glass. I mean, fucking plates that big, man, were awesome. After a while, man, he figured out, man, he couldn't make any money. He was working too much. He wasn't making anything. And that's the thing I like about jewelry. People say, "Oh, well, make some plates, man. You'll make a shitload of money, man, making plates." Yeah, man, you'll make a shitload of money making plates. Well, see that piece of glass? That's probably close to $50. That right there. Might even be more now. I don't know. This glass here, I don't know what it is now, maybe 150. How many plates can you make out of that? How much money how can you sell that stuff? But how many pendants can you make? How many pendants can you make? One, two, three, four, five, six. 1, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. You can probably make 20, at least 20 to 25 pendants out of this one piece. Okay? Maybe 20. The way I do my work is sometimes there's more or less. But this way you can make something and you can sell it cheap and make a nice profit and still sell it to somebody so they can make a profit. Because in the final analysis, what I do is I make things for other people to sell. I'm not a retailer. I don't want to deal with the customer. I want to deal with the person that's selling it to the customer because I want to sell volume. I don't want to sell one piece. I want to sell 100 pieces. It's a lot less hassle. I'm just fucking going on and on. It's fucking stupid. It's not stupid. It's just, I don't know what the fuck it is. Honestly, I don't know what it is. I know people watch these videos and they go, what the man, you know. I like to watch this guy's videos because he is fucking nuts. I watch Slack TV walking around his house, walking through 3 rooms in his house, back and forth, back and forth. And that's what I do. You know, I walk from over here, you know, back over into here. You know, back into my studio. Back into here. And then back into my studio. And just keep going back and forth, back and forth. So I know what he's doing. I understand it. Totally understand it. And this probably hasn't made a lot of sense to anybody. Because I'm sure that if I actually watched it again, it probably wouldn't make any sense to me. So why should I watch it again? You know, I'll let you watch it and let you make up your own mind. Because that's one thing I learned about the jewelry business. Sometimes it really doesn't matter what I, as the maker, thinks. What makes a difference is what the person that's going to buy it thinks. So I never try to read somebody's mind. I just put it out like a shotgun approach. All different kinds of colors, all different kinds of sizes, all different kinds of shapes. Because whenever you go out in public and you look around at people, you start to understand that if everybody was like you, everyone would be wearing the same thing. There'd only be a particular type of restaurant. There would only be particular types of shoes, only particular types of bicycles. But that's not the way it is. So I never try to read anybody's mind. I just put it out there, and the thing I think is going to be the thing that goes last is usually the thing that goes first. I hope this means something to somebody. I'm hellorodney. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye.